You want to talk about night fighting also, right? Just I saw in the comments.
Well, before we got too far away from it, I wanted to address your point, Wyatt, about night fighting and the terror of it. And Vaughn raised it too, that you're sitting there in a tank and you just be blasted as soon as you fire up your engine from 8 kilometers away. This is why I said earlier, agreeing with Dan, that the total shape of the forces is not good under the NATO kind of leadership, and it maybe does take 10 years to completely recreate doctrines, build new every new weapons of various kinds. I mean, just to very briefly address what you said about being alone in a trench, Wyatt. I mean, you can solve that problem with Ethernet cables and subvocal microphones, right? Really cheap commercial stuff. You could mutter so low that you couldn't be heard, and you could have cables run in the trench. Like, you could do that easily. Now, it's a lot harder with moving people. You'd have to have little sonic chirpers or something to have the subvocals communicate back and forth. But you could solve the problem of the extreme difficulty of keeping yourself quiet while still coordinating, right? Solvable problem, but not quickly. Not quickly. 10 years for new equipment, new doctrines, new uniforms, new helmets, new thinking, new noise generation, new all sorts of new. And then you might be ready to come in and win a fight of this nature. But right now, they're not. And they're going to have to really think about stealth and infantry and mechanized infantry now, because I don't think anything we now have from the 20th century is going to play any role in the future. The tank itself might be just the wrong answer, kind of the way the aircraft carrier looks like it is. So it starts with examining things like, the stealth of the infantry, but it moves on to things like maybe, as Archimedes agreed with me once, it was about dispersal. As few assets in one place as conceivably possible so you can't have big losses. But again, huge doctrinal change, probably a decade to make.